What's going on, everyone? So the Cleveland Cavaliers may end up making some major moves this upcoming offseason based on reports that have came out. Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell are the only two untouchable players on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that Jarret Allen as well as Darius Garland are two guys that may end up becoming available this upcoming offseason. And a lot of this seems to stem from the cap implications, right? That they are kind of in this spot where with the new CBA, like many of these teams, you're going to have to start making some tough decisions. You're going to have to start making some tough calls and getting off of some players. I'd be curious to see if Cleveland actually does go through with it. Just kind of keep in mind, or if they have like those insane asking prices where it's just like they're not really serious about moving off these guys. It's one of those things where they can just get a too good of a deal to pass up, then maybe they'll trade them. Because again, Boston's probably going to have a significant down year. Jason Tatum missing all of next year, and they may end up unloading some guys because of their cap implications, right? So the East might end up being wide open for them. So do they want to kind of tear it down? I don't know. Maybe they look at it and go like, hey, maybe we can move a Jarret Allen or move a Darius Garland or both and still be able to contend because we have Evan Mobley, we have Donovan Mitchell. That could be a way that they look at it. But this stems from, insiders with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Fedor said Wednesday at the 9-minute mark of the Wine and Gold Talk podcast that he believes Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley, not Jarret Allen and Garland, are the Cavaliers' two untouchables as the team prepared to deal with potentially being over the second salary cap apron next season. I have been getting the sense that the Cavs would be more willing to entertain and at least consider possibilities for a Jarret Allen and Darius Garland than they have in the past. So again, that those two may end up being on the trade block. Again, not saying that they're necessarily going to trade them, that like, hey, lock it in. They're going to trade Jarret Allen and Evan Mobley or Darius Garland, but that, hey, they would be more willing, more open to that than ever before. Now, obviously, the reason I'm talking about this and the Cleveland Cavaliers is because Lakers need a center, right? And Jarret Allen would be ideal in that spot, right? A versatile defensive center that can, bang with the big boys, be a lob threat, kind of be that center that the Lakers are looking for. Lakers have had interest in Jarret Allen in the past. They have on several occasions reached out to the Cavs on potentially trying to trade for him. Obviously, it's never came to fruition. You had rumors a while back, briefly, there was some talks last offseason, but really was the previous trade deadline in which there were talks about them potentially trading Jarret Allen. Obviously, that didn't end up happening. He is going to be due for a new contract, or it's going to hit the new contract extension. He already got it. He already signed it. But next year, he will make $20 million. So he's very tradable right now for teams if they wanted to get on the Jarret Allen trade. But then after that, after next year, the following year is when his new contract would kick in or his new extension would kick in, which he makes $28 million and then jumps up to 30 and 32 and so on. So, that back end of that deal, he'll be making, basically $30 million on average a season going forward. So is that something that the Lakers would be interested in, paying him that kind of money going forward? Now, I think he's worth probably in that, 25 to 30 million range. So I do think personally, just based on where he is, as far as like the pecking order of centers go, he is one of the better, more versatile centers, a guy that can defend and protect the rim, obviously, a guy that can defend in space, a guy that can defend in the pick and roll. He's the kind of guy that the Lakers really could use to kind of be that anchor defensively. And then also just having a LeBron James, a Luka Doncic, I would imagine they'd want to keep Austin Reeves. I don't think Jarret Allen is the type of center that the Lakers would be willing to pony up Austin Reeves for. Is there a path to go and get Jarret Allen for the Lakers without having to sell the farm? I don't know, maybe. Look, if the Cavs really are concerned about the cap implications, well, guess what the Lakers have? They have a ton of expiring contracts, right? So that may be, and this is something that I keep reiterating and I want to continue to hit on because I do think it's worth noting, right? One of the Lakers' biggest values or assets for these other teams are their expiring contracts. You saw it with the Dorian Finney-Smith trade last season, right? You had a team in the Memphis Grizzlies that were willing to pony up a first-round pick in order to trade. It was a protected first, but still a first-round pick in order to trade for Dorian Finney-Smith. But the Brooklyn Nets were a team that valued the expiring contract of D'Angelo Russell more than that said pick. So I do think you're going to get other teams that are going to look at this and go like, yes, we might be able to get more here, but we have to take on salary, and it kind of defeats the purpose. You might as well just keep Jarrett Allen at that point, right? Like if you're going to take on, long-term salary, well, then you might as well keep Jarrett Allen. But if you look at something like the Lakers, where it's like we could get maybe a Rui Hachimura and like a Shake Milton because he's on a non-guaranteed, immediately clear $3 million off our books, and then have a Rui Hachimura that can fall off the books at the end of this season. And now we kind of clear Jarrett Allen's, contract off the books, and then also, get a first in the deal or whatever, a first in a pick swap, whatever the Lakers end up negotiating, right? That might be beneficial. That might be something that kind of gives the Lakers a leg up in a potential Jarrett Allen trade, right? Because again, if they're trying to trade Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen because they have concerns about cap implications and the second apron, you need to get under that. Well, how do you get under that? Expiring contracts. And the Lakers have those expiring contracts to pull that off and make it a deal. Now, Darius Garland, I would stay away from personally. That's why I kind of am titling this about Jarrett Allen as well as want to focus on Jarrett Allen. I just think Darius Garland doesn't make sense as he might have, in this time last year, where now, with Luka, you want guys that can slot in and kind of be those defensive, versatile guys slotted alongside him, or again, those centers like a Jarrett Allen. So I think Jarrett Allen is a guy that would be ideal for the Lakers. He's also young enough to be that kind of pairing and that foundation piece alongside Luka for the foreseeable future. He just turned 27 years old a month ago on April 21st. So, again, he's young enough to where you can have him for the next, 6+ years, have a Jarrett Allen, have a Luka Doncic. Now you have your big, little type pairing, and then, kind of continue to piece around, especially if you can keep an Austin Reeves and a Dalton Connect and all these other things. Maybe you can go and pull off a deal to kind of now round out some of that wing depth. And because Jarrett Allen is so cheap as far as, his contract goes, that you'd be able to make that move and still have enough, Maxi Kleber, Gabe Vincent, a Austin Reeves, right? Like you'd still have multiple expiring contracts to still go make other moves, still go make other trades. And, so if the Lakers can kind of pull this off, this would be ideal for them at kind of locking up their center. But outside of obviously defensive reasoning, because he is one of the better defensive centers in the league, what does he provide as far as production on the basketball court? Well, he's a double-double guy right now. Imagine what he'd be with a guy like Luka, who's going to set him up and put him in that dunker spot and just be a lob threat all game. Talk about a guy in Jarrett Allen who is not a true 7-footer, by the way. I think that's worth noting. But he is 6'9" with a 7'6" wingspan, and he is, 245, 250 pounds. So he's got the weight to bang with the big boys. He's got the length, wingspan, and whatnot, and the athleticism to be that impact guy and be that lob threat and be kind of what the Lakers are looking for as far as the center position goes. So even though he is slightly undersized as far as like a true 7-footer goes, he is good enough as far as like rebounding, shot blocking, all the things that you'd be looking for a center, that it would still be worth it. But he's a guy that's this past season played all 82 games, by the way, and started all 82 games. He's also a guy that plays, which is good, right? Because the best ability is availability. You look at the previous year, 77 games, 68 games, right? Averaged 28 minutes per game, so not even a full 30 minutes, right? He averaged 28 minutes per game, 7.8 field goal attempts per game, right? So just under 8 attempts per game, which is probably in the range somewhere, 8 to 10 is probably what he's going to be getting on average with the Lakers even, right? Luka, I do think he'd probably get closer to 10 because Luka's always looking for that outlet pass. But he's a guy that is averaging 7.8 field goal attempts per game. He shoots 70.6% from the floor, not a floor spacer by any stretch of the imagination, shot 71.2% from 2-point range, EFG of 70.6%. Free throw shooting, 71.8% this past season, which is actually down from the last 2 years where he shot 74.2% and 73.3%. So he's a solid free throw shooter, which is good, right? You want to have a guy that you can trust on the free throw line, so they can't do the Jarret Allen or anything like that. And then averaging 9.7 rebounds, including 2.6 offensive rebounds. He is a career 3 offensive rebound a game guy. He averaging 2 assists, a steal, and a block per game with 13.5 points. If you look at his per 36 numbers, which kind of gives you a better idea if he was getting full starter minutes, which, 28 minutes is around there, but usually you look at like the 30, 32 minute range. So if he was getting, say, around that range for his per 36, he would be 17.3 points, 12.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.5 steals, and 1.5 blocks per game. Exactly what the Lakers need. If the Lakers could find a way to land him, I think you go get him. I think it's that simple. But as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? If you have any thoughts, agree, disagree, kind of mix in the middle. How do you feel either way? I love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.